Hey, Doc. Any ramifications from Clayton's start? Was there any soreness in the shoulder or anything that has come up since that night?
No, he feels great physically. Mentally, obviously frustrated, but not surprising. Yesterday was a normal work day for him, coming to the ballpark, getting his cardio, his weights, and playing catch, and so nothing changed on that front.
Kirsten, back right.
Dave, when you talk to Bobby just throughout this season, one of his biggest spaces of having as much pride in what he's done this year has been how he's kind of grown with his emotions on the mound. What are you looking to see from him today, just in specific to the emotional side and knowing that it is a postseason, but also kind of watching how he harnesses kind of some of those things in him?
I think that's something I'll be very watchful of. It's something that, you know, we've had a lot of conversations about that, and to his credit, he's embraced it and has grown tremendously. And you know, one part of being a major league pitcher is the stuff, the ability to get hitters out. The other part of it is managing stress and navigating lineups. And this is going to be, you know, his biggest challenge, his biggest test that he's ever had. I think he's prepared for it. And, you know, just appreciating the fact that adrenaline, emotions, that's going to happen organically and naturally tonight, and just trust that it'll be there. But, you know, once he makes that first throw, I think he'll be fine.
Juan standing up back left.
Hit it back here. Have we made any decision on Game 3 and who might start for you guys?
You know, as I sit here right now, I don't see it being anyone outside of Lance, and you know, so we'll see how tonight goes. But I think that's a pretty safe bet.
If you guys are leading that way, what was kind of going into that decision to maybe give him the ball as a
I think for us, it's a guy that's you know, been there before, and really just kind of trusting the fact that he's going to be there and pitch well, and to have a group of arms behind him. And I don't know what that strike's going to look like, but I feel very confident, and that's why we got him, you know, to come here and pitch big innings for us.
Down here in the front.
Dave, we just heard from Tori, who said that the entire National League has known Bobby was coming. Can you recall a certain time this season that he earned your confidence, or has it been organically growing throughout?
It's certainly been organically going throughout. I think for me is that the thing is, as a coach to a player, you know, you can have confidence in a player, but it's not real until he believes in himself. And I think that, yeah, there's this kind of intrinsic tough guy confidence in Bobby, and certainly helps when you throw 100 miles an hour. But until you can have success at the major league level consistently, then it starts to really cement and be realized and true. And that's where it kind of, so when did this happen? I don't recall when. I just know that, you know, his expectation to go out there and feel like he was the best option continued to grow, and the confidence, managing stress, managing his emotions, all that stuff I've seen. So like Tori said, yeah, Bobby's been on the come, but it was more of just stuff and not really harnessed emotionally and physically to be a major league pitcher, but he's checked a lot of those boxes.
Standing up on the left, Jack.
Just to follow up on the Game 3, will Pepio also be part of the plan?
Yeah, I can see Ryan pitching that game.
And then when you look at a series like this, like their side's talked about trying to embrace, you know, being the underdog, playing with house money, that kind of stuff. Like, can you feel that in the dynamic of a series? And is it harder for you guys if you're kind of feeling the pressure to beat a team like that, move on? Like, how did the kind of favorite underdog dynamic things play out?
You know, I don't think we look at it this way. When you're looking at Merrill Kelly, who had one of the best years in the National League, pitched for Team USA, and you're looking at Zach Gallen, who's been in the Cy Young race the last few years, you're staring down those guys. That's a tall order for any team. So I don't think that we were sitting here and expecting anything outside of going out there and playing good baseball. So I don't think we expect it to be easy, and so we have a lot of respect for those guys, and they played us tough all year long. So yeah, doesn't feel good being down 0-1, but I like our chances tonight and going forward. But I can't speak to their mindset though.
Beth on the left.
Dave, I know you tried some new things last week to keep guys engaged for those 5 days, but would you have rather have been playing than have the bye? The top 2 seeds in both leagues are 1 and 5 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would rather. It's nice to get into the division series, certainly. I don't think that 5 days is ideal, but that's the playoff structure. So the world's not perfect, but yeah, a couple day break would have been nice. But 5's a little, but there's nothing we can do about it. And like I said yesterday, I hope the extra day cooled those guys their bats off a little bit, and now we're back to level playing ground, hopefully.
Bill over here on front left.
Thanks. Just to follow up on Miller, what do you remember about the first time you saw him? Maybe it was in spring training, I'm not sure, but did it look polished, raw? Did you see how much work had to be done? What do you remember is how close he was at that point?
I saw Bobby, I don't remember the first time, but a vivid memory was a couple years ago in spring training, invite, and fireballer, confident young kid who just had no command of the baseball. And not wild, but it's like when you're talking about major league caliber pitching, where people could have felt he was close, where in my eyes he wasn't close. And I think that now he understands what a quality fastball and command looks like and what gets major league hitters out. And he understands what spin's supposed to look like, and a breaking ball that doesn't pop, and a changeup that stays on the same line as his fastball. And so those are things that make you a major league pitcher, then a really good major league pitcher. So for me, it was a really up and down, emotional guy that didn't control his emotions very well. But then from this spring to this year to then getting up here with us, he's just grown so much, and really proud of what he's done.
Second row on the left.
Dave, Torrey said that they have been waiting for this moment, and there's a familiarity between you, the Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks. I'm wondering if you could take us into the kind of cat and mouse game. Max said that the approach that Kelly took the other night was completely different than when they had seen him during the regular season.
It was. He didn't throw as many changeups as he typically does. He went more cutter to the lefties. As far as Torrey and what they've done a fantastic job of getting homegrown players, locking up the right guys. I thought the FAM deal at the deadline was fantastic. And they've got good starting pitching. So, yeah, they've done a great job. And as far as waiting for this moment, they should. We've done a good job in the division, and so for them to be here says a lot, about where they've come. And so it's a big series for us, and we've been waiting for this moment too. So I just the familiarity part. Yeah, I think that I think it's one of those things that, because there's so much familiarity, there's a balance between doing something different than you might not be comfortable doing, to then live with the result versus doing what you've always done. And so, to Merrill's credit, the other night, he went off sort of what he's done, his script, and that was proved beneficial. So, yeah, it is a cat and mouse for sure.
Dylan on the left.
Okay, in regards to Miller, I'm guessing you guys have an idea, right, how far you guys want him to go in terms of maybe pitches or number of batters or whatever. But you and I, we've also talked about, right, his ceiling and stuff, his stuff. Right, there've been times like he's been completely dominant through 5 or 6. If he's having one of those types of games, how much would you consider letting him kind of go, beyond like the plan? And does maybe where this series lie right now affect those plans at all?
Well, I think for me, there's no number of hitters. I think, 80 to 90 pitches, 95 pitches, something like that would be a ceiling. I do know that we've got 4 guys in the pen that are raring and anxious to pitch, that are the reason, are a big reason why we're here tonight. So to be able to use those guys tonight, I think is a benefit. So yeah, so I'm certainly a read and react situation, and I can't sit here right now and say that there is a plan, because if there was, I would love to know it, and if it worked, that'd be great. But I'm just going to sit here and watch Bobby, and I trust Bobby, and I expect him to, take down a lot of outs tonight, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Fabian over here on the right.
Yeah, Dave, just sort of on that. I mean, considering where you guys are, the pitching, where you guys are in the series, do you need Bobby to be that type of front rotation type guy that should really sort of be that guy? I know it's obviously it's his first start, but just be able to come off.
Yeah, you have to have a guy or guys that can take down outs. I mean, you just can't survive ultimately to win 11 games in October by, doing a bullpen every single. It just can't happen. It's just not sustainable. And so you have to have a guy that can take down outs. But as we sit here, down 0-1, all games aren't created equal. And so I understand that. And so how we get through tonight is a different conversation than what it might look like for his potential next start. So to your question, yes, we do need Bobby to be Bobby. And I think he will do that. But as far as tonight, how we manage it, how I manage it, remains to be seen.
Take 2 last ones, JP, and then back here on the right.
Yeah, Dave, what did you think about Emmett Sheehan in Game 1, in that role that he hasn't done a lot of this season? And when's the earliest you can envision him being back on the mound in the game?
I can see Emmett being in the game probably in Game 4. And actually, JP, I think Emmett's done it probably a dozen times this year coming out of the pen. So, yeah, he's a starter, but I think that, the role, his expectation, he came in and, got, I think, a punch out and a ground out, then went back in there, and Carroll hit a really good pitch down below. But I thought he did what we needed to do to kind of stay away from some guys that we wanted to. So I was really impressed with what he did and expect him to be even better the next time.
Finish up on the back right.
Hey Doc, in case you haven't got enough Bobby Miller questions, you talked about his growth throughout the season, especially on the mental side of things. This is obviously the biggest start of his career, and the stakes got even higher after the result of Saturday's game. So what makes you confident that a 24-year-old can face a bright, shining spotlight like this one and perform the way you're able to?
I think that, the great ones, the great players just have a way of channeling energy, adrenaline, nerves into performance. And I've just seen enough that the trajectory has been headed in the right direction for quite some time. So I bet on the head a lot on players. And for me, the preparation, the mindset, he doesn't scare off. And so I just think he's going to embrace this moment.
All right, thanks, Dave.
All right, guys, thank you.